Have you ever wondered why every religion believes it holds the ultimate truth? Whether it's Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, or countless others, each claims to have the right path to salvation, enlightenment, or ultimate reality. But why is that? Is it arrogance, deep conviction, or simply the nature of faith itself? In today's video, we're diving into the real reason every religion thinks it's right. Stay tuned because the answer goes deeper than you might think. At the core of most religions lies the concept of absolute truth. This is the belief that there is a single, unchanging reality or divine principle that governs existence. Religions often begin with founders, prophets, or enlightened figures who experience profound revelations. These revelations are interpreted as undeniable truths and are then recorded in sacred texts. For believers, these texts are not open to negotiation. They are divine blueprints for life. When a religion claims its teachings are the only path, it is because the followers believe that their truth comes directly from the ultimate source, whether that's God, the universe, or cosmic order. This isn't just a matter of belief, it's tied to identity. If your faith teaches that truth is absolute, then by default, every other claim must be incomplete or wrong. This mindset creates a natural exclusivity, which is why different religions often see themselves as the only right one. Religion is more than personal belief. It's about community and belonging. Humans are tribal by nature, and religion provides a powerful sense of group identity. When you belong to a religious community, you're part of a larger story that stretches back centuries. Shared rituals, traditions, and moral codes unite members and reinforce the idea that we are right, while they are outsiders. Think about it. Believing your faith is correct strengthens loyalty and cohesion within the group. If doubt creeps in, it threatens unity. For this reason, religions naturally emphasize their correctness, not only to guide individuals, but also to preserve collective strength. Psychologists call this in-group bias, the tendency to see your group as superior while viewing others with skepticism. So, when religions say they're right, it's not always about disproving others, it's about strengthening internal bonds. This sense of identity, security, and belonging makes it very difficult for followers to see their religion as just one of many. Another powerful reason religions claim to be right is the high stakes involved. For many faiths, what you believe determines your eternal destiny, heaven or hell, liberation or rebirth, enlightenment or ignorance. The cost of being wrong is portrayed as unimaginably severe. This raises the urgency for followers to cling tightly to their own path and dismiss others. Fear is a strong motivator. If your tradition teaches that eternal punishment or suffering awaits those who don't follow the true way, then believing your religion is the only correct one feels like a matter of survival. This is not necessarily manipulation, it's simply how religions sustain commitment. By framing belief as life or death, faith becomes more than opinion. It becomes a necessity. And when the cost of error is so high, tolerance for other truths often diminishes. Religions don't just survive through individual conviction, they thrive by passing beliefs through generations. From childhood, many people are taught religious principles as unquestionable facts. These teachings are reinforced by family traditions, cultural celebrations, and societal norms. When an entire culture supports one worldview, it becomes deeply ingrained. Over time, this creates an environment where doubting your religion feels like betraying not only your faith, but also your ancestors and community. Cultural reinforcement is one of the strongest reasons why religions believe they are right, because they've been framed as right for centuries. From the architecture of temples and churches to national holidays and community festivals, every aspect of life becomes a reminder that this is the correct path. As a result, questioning the religion isn't just a theological debate, it's a cultural rebellion. At the deepest level, religions claim correctness because they all attempt to answer life's biggest questions. Why are we here? What happens after death? How should we live? These are universal human concerns, and religions provide frameworks that give comforting answers. Each religion offers a narrative that makes life meaningful, transforming chaos into order. When a system provides clarity and hope, it naturally feels true to its followers. The need for certainty in a confusing world is so strong that believers often adopt their religion's teachings as ultimate truth. This doesn't necessarily mean other paths are false. It just means the framework resonates so deeply that it feels like the only possible answer. In this way, every religion believes it is right because it fulfills humanity's fundamental desire for meaning, purpose, and transcendence. Sacred texts play a central role in why religions believe they're right. Whether it's the Bible, Quran, Vedas, Torah, or Buddhist sutras, these writings are treated as divinely inspired or revealed. Followers see them not as ordinary literature, but as the ultimate source of knowledge and guidance. Because these texts are believed to be perfect, timeless, and unchallengeable, they naturally give believers confidence that their religion is the correct one. Once you anchor truth in a written document that's said to come from a divine source, questioning it becomes equal to questioning God. This creates an unshakable foundation for faith and a built-in defense against competing claims. Every major religion has a founder or prophet whose life and teachings serve as proof of its correctness. For Christians, Jesus is the Son of God. For Muslims, Muhammad is the seal of the prophets. For Buddhists, Siddhartha Gautama is the enlightened one. These figures often perform miracles, display extraordinary wisdom, or embody divine presence. Their lives become the cornerstone of faith, offering evidence that our path is the true one. Believers point to the uniqueness of their religious leaders as validation that their religion holds the right answers. Because prophets are seen as chosen, enlightened, or divinely appointed, their teachings are treated as final authority. Religions strengthen their truth claims through miracles, visions, and spiritual experiences. Whether it's stories of healing, divine interventions, or mystical encounters, these events serve as proof that the faith is correct. When a believer experiences something they interpret as miraculous, like answered prayers or moments of deep spiritual peace, it reinforces their conviction. From a psychological standpoint, personal experiences carry more weight than abstract arguments. This is why believers often say, "I know my religion is true because I felt it." For them, lived experiences are irrefutable evidence. Many religions assert that only their path leads to ultimate salvation or liberation. For example, Christianity emphasizes that salvation comes through Jesus alone, while Islam highlights submission to Allah as the only path to paradise. These exclusivity claims naturally position the religion as the sole custodian of truth. If only one door leads to eternal peace, then it makes sense for followers to believe all other doors are closed. This exclusivity strengthens commitment, but also fuels tension between faiths. Religions often justify their correctness by pointing to their age and continuity. Followers argue that because their faith has survived for thousands of years, it must be divinely protected and true. Historical events, preserved traditions, and long-standing rituals give a sense of legitimacy. For example, Judaism emphasizes its ancient covenant with God, while Hinduism highlights its timeless Vedic traditions. Longevity becomes a form of validation, as people assume that false systems could not have endured across millennia. Religious rituals, from prayer and fasting to pilgrimages and festivals, reinforce the idea that the faith is right. Performing rituals connects believers with something bigger than themselves and creates tangible experiences of spirituality. When rituals work by providing peace, healing, or unity, followers see them as confirmation of divine truth. Rituals aren't just habits, they're spiritual technologies. Each time believers engage in them, their faith is reaffirmed, making it harder to question whether their religion could be wrong. One reason religions insist on being right is their role in shaping moral codes. People often see religion as the source of morality, telling us what's good, bad, just, or unjust. When a religion provides clear guidance for living a virtuous life, it's easy for followers to assume that it must be the only true way. They see competing worldviews as flawed because those systems might lack the same moral clarity. The sense that our religion makes us better people becomes a strong reason to believe it's correct. Uncertainty is uncomfortable for humans. Religion offers a comforting certainty in a world full of chaos. Knowing or believing that you have the truth reduces anxiety about death, suffering, and the unknown. This psychological relief makes believers more convinced their religion is right. After all, if your faith provides peace and security, why would you believe it's false? The more comfort it brings, the more convincing it feels. Priests, imams, monks, rabbis, and spiritual teachers play a critical role in affirming religious truth. They interpret sacred texts, guide communities, and act as living representatives of faith. Their authority creates a layer of validation. If respected leaders believe the religion is right, then followers are reassured. Authority figures also defend faith against doubt, strengthening the perception that truth lies exclusively within their religion. Religions employ powerful symbols, architecture, music, and art to reinforce their correctness. Think of majestic cathedrals, golden temples, or Islamic calligraphy. These creations inspire awe and connect believers emotionally to their faith. The beauty and grandeur of religious expression often feel like evidence of divine truth. When followers are surrounded by such symbols, it strengthens their belief that their religion is not only correct, but also sacred and transcendent. In many religions, shared testimony plays a huge role. Hearing countless others affirm their faith creates social proof. If everyone in your family, village, or nation says the religion is true, it becomes extremely persuasive. Community testimony builds collective conviction, and when believers see their neighbors thriving under the same faith, it feels like undeniable confirmation that their religion is the right one. Religions often emphasize personal transformation, stories of lives changed by faith. Someone might overcome addiction, find forgiveness, or discover purpose through religious teachings. These transformations are powerful proofs that the religion must be right. Believers often say, "I was lost, but now I've been changed by my faith." Such experiences carry immense weight, making it nearly impossible for followers to doubt their religion's truth. Many religions strongly warn against leaving the faith, sometimes with spiritual or social consequences. Apostasy, abandoning one's religion, is often seen as a betrayal of God and community. This fear reinforces the idea that the religion is absolutely right and leaving it is a catastrophic mistake. The social stigma or spiritual consequences tied to apostasy lock believers into conviction, making them less open to alternative views. Most people inherit their religion from family. From childhood, beliefs are instilled through stories, prayers, and practices. Growing up in an environment where faith is presented as truth makes it almost second nature. When you've believed something your whole life, it feels obviously correct. This upbringing cements faith as the default worldview, leaving little room for doubt. Ironically, competition between religions strengthens each one's truth claims. When faiths encounter rivals, they double down on exclusivity and correctness to protect their identity. Apologetics, the defense of a faith, often develops in response to competing religions. By contrasting themselves with others, religions highlight their unique strengths, which further convinces followers that their religion is the only right one. At the heart of every religion is hope. Hope for a better future, eternal peace, or liberation. Hope is one of the strongest motivators for human belief. When a religion offers hope that resonates deeply, it feels undeniably right. Followers cling to it not just intellectually, but emotionally, because abandoning it would mean giving up hope itself. Religions often present themselves as truth precisely because they've endured hardship. Stories of martyrs, persecution, and survival become evidence of divine protection. If a religion has survived against all odds, followers see it as proof that God or the divine favors them. The narrative of struggle turns into a badge of authenticity. We must be right, otherwise we wouldn't have endured. Many religions teach that their followers are chosen or specially favored by God. This belief creates a sense of uniqueness and privilege. If you are chosen, then naturally your religion must be the correct one. The chosen people narrative gives believers a powerful sense of purpose and identity, making them less likely to consider other religions as equally valid. For many believers, the idea that all religions could be right feels threatening. If truth is relative, then faith loses its power. Religions often resist relativism by insisting on their own correctness. The fear of watering down faith drives exclusivity, making followers more convinced that their religion alone holds the truth. At the deepest level, every religion claims to be right because humans crave final answers. We don't want endless uncertainty about life, death, morality, and purpose. Religions provide closure, certainty, and a roadmap. By claiming to be right, religions satisfy this need for absolute answers. Believers find comfort in knowing they've found the truth, even if that truth is different from someone else's. Many religions emphasize that their followers enjoy a special relationship with the divine. This might be expressed through answered prayers, blessings, or protection from harm. Believers see divine favor as confirmation that their religion is correct. If your prayers are answered or you feel guided in life, it reinforces the belief that your faith has a unique connection to truth. Divine favor becomes evidence, turning everyday experiences into spiritual validation. Language plays a subtle but powerful role in reinforcing correctness. Many faiths use special words, prayers, or mantras that are said to carry divine power. Reciting scripture in the original language, Hebrew, Arabic, Sanskrit, or Pali, makes the experience feel sacred and unrepeatable elsewhere. If divine truths are locked in one sacred language, it strengthens the idea that only this religion has the true key to reality. Tradition provides continuity and authority. When millions of people across centuries have believed the same thing, it creates a sense of undeniable legitimacy. Believers think, so many generations couldn't all be wrong. The power of tradition is not logical, it's emotional. It reassures followers that their faith has stood the test of time and therefore must be correct. This inherited legacy becomes an anchor of certainty. Most religions believe their revelations are unique and cannot be duplicated. Whether it's Moses receiving the Ten Commandments, Muhammad receiving the Quran, or Joseph Smith receiving the Book of Mormon, these moments are considered once-in-history events. Followers are taught that no other revelation can compare, which automatically invalidates competing claims. This belief in exclusivity makes the religion feel unchallengeable. One powerful reason religions think they're right is the assurance of ultimate justice. Many faiths teach that wrongdoers will face punishment, while the faithful will be rewarded. This promise resonates deeply with human desires for fairness. If your religion guarantees justice in a world that often feels unjust, it feels like the only correct worldview. Believers cling to this because it satisfies both emotional and ethical needs. Religions often provide strict rules for life, covering food, dress, relationships, and worship. These rules create order in a chaotic world. The clarity of these laws makes followers believe their religion is right because it removes ambiguity about how to live. For many people, certainty in daily choices translates into certainty in ultimate truth. Rules become proof of divine wisdom. When believers suffer for their religion through persecution, sacrifice, or hardship, they often interpret it as confirmation of truth. The logic is, if the path were false, why would it be worth enduring so much for? Shared suffering builds solidarity and deepens the conviction that the faith is authentic. In this way, hardship doesn't weaken belief, it strengthens it. Many religions rely on prophecy as evidence of correctness. Fulfilled predictions about historical events, divine intervention, or the end times are seen as proof that the faith is true. When believers witness or interpret events as fulfillment of prophecy, their conviction grows. Prophecy gives a sense that history itself confirms the religion's truth claims. Sacred geography strengthens religious truth claims. Whether it's Jerusalem, Mecca, the Ganges River, or Bodh Gaya, holy sites are treated as physical evidence of divine presence. Pilgrimages to these places often leave believers with profound experiences that reinforce faith. Standing on holy ground feels like touching truth itself, making it harder to imagine other religions being equally valid. Some religions claim correctness by offering simple, direct answers to complex questions. This clarity appeals to human psychology. When life feels confusing, a straightforward explanation feels more convincing than a nuanced one. Believers often say, Our path is simple because it's the truth. This simplicity creates emotional satisfaction, making the religion feel uniquely correct. Religions often differentiate themselves by offering unique visions of the afterlife. Paradise, nirvana, moksha, or resurrection, each faith promises something distinct. Followers believe their vision of the afterlife is superior and accurate, which naturally leads to the conviction that their religion alone has the right path. Competing visions feel incomplete or even false by comparison. Communities preserve and retell stories of divine intervention, miracles, and historic triumphs. These collective memories act as living proof of faith's correctness. When generations pass down these stories, they don't just preserve tradition, they reinforce conviction. Believers feel they are part of an unbroken chain of truth, further validating their religion's claims. Religions often position themselves as the only source of moral authority. They teach that without divine guidance, morality collapses into chaos. Followers who accept this worldview believe their religion is right because it offers the only reliable compass for good and evil. Competing moral systems seem fragile or flawed in comparison.